Let's take a look at how you work with editors. Most tabs in Congo, beside live, blind, and playback, are editors or lists. Like most tabs, these editors can be opened from the browser or with a direct key. I'll show you. I'm going to close the browser. So I hit the browser key. Now, if I want to open the preset editor, I hit the preset key. As you can tell, this is an editor and a list. It has a list part in the bottom, which is like a spreadsheet, and it has a top part, which is a channel view. This is what most editors look like. Another example is the group editor. Now in this case, there is no data in it, so there's still a channel view on top and a list on the bottom, but the list is empty. And there's a hint: use insert to insert new items. This goes for most editors. Insert is the key used to insert stuff, and delete is the key used to delete stuff. And usually you have to confirm that with a dialog. So I hit modify. I'm going to close the group list, pressing the escape key, and we're going to use the preset list as a starting point to learn how you can work from the console with these lists, because you don't have to reach out and use a mouse or a trackball at any time. All functions you need are hard-keyed into the console, because this is the fastest way you can work. These controls are the same regardless if you're working with a preset list or a group list or a sequence list, any kind of list or editor. All these controls are valid and usable. So the top part, which is the channel view, has all the functions of the live view. I'm not going to cover them here because they're covered in a separate tutorial, but the whole idea is if there are channels to edit, you edit the channels, select them, set levels, and work with device parameters with the console controls. So selecting channels, setting levels, all these things are with the console controls that are not covered in this tutorial. But as you can tell, as soon as I change something, the top part becomes purple. This is to let me know that I have changed something and it's not stored yet. So if I try to leave this editor or move to another preset in the list, I'll get a dialog warning me, there are changes, do you want to save them? If I hit modify now, since update is selected, I will save them. If I use the down arrow to go to cancel, I can press modify and skip my changes. So the top part is just another normal channel view, and if there are moving devices and you want to edit them from the console, just press attrib and you'll open the attribute view in the top part. And here you can use the console wheel parameters and the palette functions and the fetch functions to edit and set values. So if I want to assign focus palette 1 to these lights at this moment, I just enter 1 and press focus palette. And again, if I want to leave without storing, I can say cancel. Okay, I'm going to press the trib again to get the channel view on top, and now let's focus on the spreadsheet part at the bottom. Regardless of what kind of editor there is, you have the silver keys to the right of the level wheel in the console, together with the arrow keys to control this part. I'll go through the most important keys, okay? Use the up and down arrow to navigate vertically in the spreadsheet part. Use the right and left arrows to navigate horizontally. If the list is very long, this can be quite cumbersome. So if you hold the down arrow and use the level wheel, you can speed scroll. If you hold a right or left arrow and use the level wheel, you speed scroll horizontally. That's extremely fast. So the second most important key here is the modify key. Let's go through the different types of cells in the spreadsheet and see what modify does. The first one is a text cell. So in a text cell, I press modify to be able to start modifying the text. I enter a text. I press modify to finish. The next cell is just a list. It has a grayed out value and it's just there to show me how many channels are in this preset. So some cells you cannot do anything with. The next one shows me how many attributes there are. And if there are attributes and I press modify, I'll open a sub-editor for attributes or whatever is there. Another typical sub-editor is the mask cell. So if I press modify in the mask, I open the mask editor. I'm pressing escape to get out of them. Now I'm coming to a numerical input. These are times for presets. When there are numerical values, sometimes those numerical values can be absolute or relative, as is in the case with times, because times can be in seconds, which is absolute, or in percentage of some other time, which is relative. So when you have this choice, there's a default rule. Enter a number and press modify, and you enter an absolute value in seconds. Enter a number, hold the clear key in the numerical keypad, and press modify, and you'll get a percentage. If you want to enter a value into more than one cell at a time, there's a select key in the console. If you hold select and use down or right arrow, you can select a number of cells at the same time and enter a value. Another function that allows you to enter a range of values is the column function. If I want to enter delay times from here all the way down to the bottom of the list, I can hit the column key and it will select all steps from here and down. Another use I can have of the column key is to change the size of a column. For example, if the text column isn't wide enough, I can hold the column key and use the channel wheel to change the size of it. I can hold the column key and use the right and left arrow to move a column. And I can hold the column key and press the up or down arrow to sort by column. If I hold the column key and press the down arrow, the presets are sorted numerically from 1. And if I hold the column key and press the up arrow, the preset list is sorted from the highest one down to the lowest. If I want to change the relation between the upper and lower part, I hold the tab key and I use the level wheel. And at all times, when I'm in a cell, as you can tell down here, there's a little hint about what available choices I have. I can use cut, copy, and paste in this column to cut and paste whole presets. I can press modify here